this performance of The Common Glory. I want to reiterate our deep appreciation to our sponsors, CFW Communications, who is our major corporate sponsor, as well as the Augusta County and Stanton Departments of Parks and Recreation that have been our godparents really since the very beginning of this youth program. We could not do it without them. One of my first duties this evening is a very pleasant one. We're going to make somebody a winner. So we're going to draw the winner from last night's raffle of the flag. If you recall, we have flags that were flown on the 4th of July over the Capitol in Washington. And my lovely assistant here, Kathleen Tosco, I will invite her to step forward. She will get a totally spontaneous person from the audience to draw.
And the winner is?
And you probably won't know this person because they were here last night, so nobody's going to jump up and gush. Kay Gardner, it looks like, or Girdler?
G-A-U-L-D-E-N, Golden.
Route to Waynesboro. So there we go. Wherever she is, thank you very much. And that's a little incentive for you, obviously, to during intermission. You too can be a winner. I think The Common Glory ought to be the official play of Virginia, and maybe after this evening's performance you might agree with me also. This year is the 50th anniversary of the writing of this play. It premiered in Williamsburg. 50 years later, here we are doing it here in Augusta County. And over the years, there have been many people who have been part of the company. As some of you may know, I'm an alumnus myself. In the summer of '68 and the summer of '69, I was Cephas Sycamore, the chicken thief who saves the American Revolution. In the company in the summer of '54, she was a member of the chorus, and I told her I would embarrass her by asking her to stand up. So is Betty Eaton here? Well, there she is. She was visiting Massanutten this week on vacation, just happened to pick up a flyer and see that we were doing The Common Glory. I didn't ask you, Betty, where's your home?
Chesapeake.
Chesapeake, okay, well. So for me doing this play was, as you might expect, a stroll down memory lane, but it quickly became so very much more. In the Raleigh Tavern scene in Act 1, you'll hear Thomas Jefferson tell us that freedom is a glorious challenge, but it is also an awful challenge. Because learning to govern oneself is never easy, whether it's in your personal life or in your community, state, or national life. Just tell me what to do, we often say. But when we govern ourselves, there's no one but ourselves to tell us what to do. I think this is the wonder of that ongoing day-to-day experiment we call America, and that story begins with the story we're telling you tonight. The title from this play, The Common Glory, comes from a speech of Sam Adams, which is quoted in the play, which he delivered in Philadelphia on August 1st, 1776. And he said, "For my part, I ask no greater blessing than to share with you the common danger and the common glory." Sharing together, I believe, equals community. And I believe that's where freedom is won daily and lost, perhaps, at communities across the country like ours, in the zoning commission, and in the school board offices, and in the privacy of the polling booth and the public forum of letters to the editor, that uniquely American institution. ShenanArts is proud to be an integral part of this community and to join with you in celebrating Stanton's 250th birthday with this show. So again, welcome. We do hope you enjoy The Common Glory. Thank you.
Between the Alleghanies and the Atlantic is indeed the birthplace of the Republic, and likewise the cradle of its liberty. Jamestown occurred the immortal tragedies of suffering and death, the birth pangs of our nation's creation, more than 360 years ago. And in Williamsburg in the 18th century, we arrived out and developed many matchless documents and statements of liberty and responsibility upon which our self-government has been built.
And at Yorktown in 1781, victory was finally achieved, which made us an independent people. This is indeed sacred soil whereon we are gathered tonight.
Here, where I stand at this moment, from time immemorial the elusive deer have crossed, and the flitting light-winged bird, and the tripping tender maid, Martha Rockland herself has walked here. Down the old trail that leads through this very amphitheater, the prideful Wahansanakwa, leader of the talented Indians and his warriors, have marched to battle. The glamorous stonesmith, the devout John Ball, Sir Thomas Dale, the hard heart and iron hand, the rash and magnificent Nathaniel Bacon, all passed this way.
And here in Augusta County, the youthful Thomas Jefferson walked on many a summer autumn evening, musing and thinking, watching the sunset sky, the peaceful upper air of the stars above, making his notes in his little book, and dreaming his dreams, yet dreaming his dreams. Here in Virginia has been the birthplace of great men. God grant that we remember them.
On a balmy autumn evening in 1774 at Monticello, Virginia, the home of the great political leader, Thomas Jefferson. The Revolutionary War has not yet begun, but it is brewing to a time of crisis in which many a giant name in our republic will climb its way to immortality. On this particular evening, Jefferson and his young wife Patty are entertaining his few friends with music. Let us crimson there for a brief moment. Among these is Jefferson's kinsman, Robert Ford, a great plantation owner and chief of the royal governor's inner group of advisors at Williamsburg. With him is his daughter Eileen. Also present is the young neighbor of Jefferson, Hugh Taylor, a frontiersman from the Blue Ridge Mountains. Early 3 days before his been at Monticello, this broody and intense young man has fallen deeply in love with the beautiful and aristocratic Eileen.
By Jove, Thomas Jefferson, I like your music.
Aye, better than his writings, Mr. Bird.
I presume that to be a compliment, Cousin Robert.
It is indeed, my boy, to your music, not your writings.
'Tis well known that Thomas Jefferson here is the best violinist in Virginia.
And why not the best writer, pray?
Years ago, there in Williamsburg, I was wont to hear him and Governor Fauquier protected. It was beautiful.
I shall endeavor to improve my writings, Cousin Robert, for the times are little suited to music.
And what better times could there be for the arts, Jefferson? The colony is prosperous. The population is increasing.
Hardly peaceful, and certainly not prosperous.
Trade is temporarily decreased between us and the mother country.
Aye, because we are restricted by both king and parliament. Look at poor Boston, her ports closed.
And rightly so, Cousin Jefferson. The rebels destroyed His Majesty's tea.
Was their only recourse to save their markets, Cousin Eileen, and to protest against the tax.
But soon commerce will flow in Virginia again.
Aye, and when it does flow, it will flow as before. more to the profit of England than to her colonies.
We have become menials for exploitation.
Please, please, no politics. It gives me such a headache.
Your pardon, madame.
And what are your thoughts, Master Hugh Taylor?
I think Mr. Gordon, like a full and gouty man, some bleeding would help the matter.
War.
I heard the name for it, yes. War.
And you, sir, have allowed yourself to be poisoned by the teachings of this right-headed
I have
radical.
much for Mr. Jefferson, sir, and am thankful to him.
And what was that heavenly song, Patty?
Oh, an old English thing called What is Love?
True. As to the mixture.
So let it be music and love, Jefferson, and no politics. None. Please favor us with another selection.
Let Tom Jefferson get so much as a whiff of music, and he's like a beagle smelling a fox. Dinner is served.
Sister, I see the post has arrived. The Virginia Gazette, please.
You shall not see it until after dinner, Thomas.
Oh, and you might as well know that there is a mention of Francis Corbin's betrothal to Eileen Gordon.
But that is not supposed to be known yet.
That Corbin woman. Well, since it's out, it's out. You're all invited to the wedding in the summer.
Oh, Eileen, I'm sure you will be happy.
Well, we must hold a great ball at Westover. We'll invite the Corbins and the Harrisons and the Carters.
Congratulations. Francis Corbin is rich. Why, he owns 500 slaves.
And he'll have 1,000 more with Eileen.
And consorts with nobility in London. He dances well. May all happiness be yours, Cousin Eileen.
I'm playing with dancing a crime, my dear boy. Your beloved Colonel George Washington dances like the very devil.
He does.
It has been a most joyous evening, Mrs. Jefferson. Mr. Jefferson.
A sure sentence, sir.
And so do the best people in this colony. We have not to fear. There will be no war.
Is that so?
So, not even if you, Sam Adams, and Patrick Henry can do all you can to bring it about. And you too, sir.
Rather accuse the king and his parliament of breeding war.
A most outspoken young man indeed.
And I reckon that to be a treasonable utterance.
And I reckon, as Patrick Henry said in the Capitol in Williamsburg, if this be treason, sir, make the most of it!
And handsome. Say you so, Eileen.
We dread the prospect of civil war, Cousin Robert, as much as you.
And your infamous committees of correspondence with New England, then. I might believe you.
Oh, there you go again. Stop it.
You know Father's principles, Cousin Thomas. Why do you? And you.
Other people have principles too.
I am a guest in your house, Thomas Jefferson. And on the point of politics, we're hopelessly divided. So no more. Let it be peace till we go.
Governor Dunmore.
Let it pass, Father.
He has dissolved the House of Burgesses till next spring.
And with reason.
The affairs of the colony need desperate attention at this hour.
The governor and his advisors will see to the colonies.
Meaning you will. You are the power behind the governor there at Williamsburg. We all know that.
You cannot blame Lord Dunmore for dissolving the Burgesses. They refused to cooperate.
They cannot, sir, cooperate to their own undoing. I warn you, the people will not submit much longer to this tyranny.
Tyranny? Come, Berg, Mrs. Berg, Eileen, we're leaving.
Oh, I wanted to stay. I wanted to
Come again, dear.
What may happen?
Well, Hugh, it seems as if you and I may have much to do in the days ahead.
Aye, let the war come. Quickly.
Many a man before you has said the same, and lived to curse the day he did. What? You are staying for dinner?
Not tonight, Mr. Jefferson. My horse is saddled there. I'm going back over the mountain tonight.
And who knows? There might be other things a man could fight for.
What?
My fan, please, Master Hugh Taylor.
I fain would keep it, as the poet says. But I don't need this to remember you by. I close my eyes and there you are.
Thank you.
Good night.
In this war that's coming, Hugh, men will fight for their rights. And the man can fight for his love.
Good night, Mr. Jefferson.
Good night, Hugh. That's you, Taylor, the new man in the Western world. Breathe, stout heart.
I'm glad his heart is stout. For Eileen Gordon would break it. She will never love him.
Well, love is like politics, or a winding river. It has many turnings.
This talk of war, it's all a mad dream. It must be. Oh, my darling, I'm afraid for you if it comes.
Sweet, your love makes me bold as a lion. Now come, my sister's waiting to scold me.
As the winter of 1734 came on, the affairs of the colony continued for worse. Rumors spread that Virginia Governor Dunmore was assembling a military force in Williamsburg. A number of irate Burgesses, emboldened by the leadership of Jefferson, Patrick Henry, and others, hurried to the governor's palace, here to confront the Wisconsin. It is the night of the Queen's birthday and the christening of Dunmore's baby daughter. His Excellency's friends have gathered for an evening of music and fun.
His Excellency, His Majesty's Lieutenant and General Governor of the Colonies and Vice Admiral of the same, the Right, the Honorable John Murray, Earl of Dunmore, and his lady, the Countess of Dunmore.
music and illuminations the natal day of our beloved Queen, and our hearts turn in love and reverence to her at this hour. And likewise, our hearts turn in reverence and undying loyalty to him, her lord, with whom she shares the throne, His Majesty, the King.
Fellow citizens, it gives me great pleasure to present to our beloved governor his latest gift to Virginia. Her name is also Virginia.
It is significant of the continuance of our strength and endurance as English people that we so use this name. Down on Roanoke Island, south of here, in the year 1587, the first English child born in the New World was named Virginia. Virginia Dare. And in 1609, the first child born in the settlement of Jamestown was likewise named Virginia. Virginia Lady. And this, the first child born of a royal governor in this province, is likewise named Virginia. Virginia Murray. Virginia has always been noted for her beautiful women. She is partial to women. The 3 babies mentioned were all girls.
And now, Miss Helen and her young dancers.
Mr. Thomas Jefferson, you are a surprise guest at our festive occasion. You, likewise, Mr. Patrick Henry. We thank you for this tribute to our Queen.
We have not come to pay tribute to your queen, but to warn you.
Warn me. What is your plea, then?
Your pardon, sir. Francis Corbin, I believe.
And so, Master Hugh Taylor, you continue to march to the forefront of this madness.
I do, Mistress Eileen Gordon, and it seems to lead me to you.
We assume, sir, that your own seal and signature are well known to you.
They are?
Then, sir, while you lull this colony sleep with your declarations and celebrations of amity and goodwill, warships and fighting men are brought to the York River, and the powder magazine has been restocked.
This post communication says so.
We captured the varlet fixing it here.
So, you have dared lay hands on one of the king's own messengers. That is a treasonable act, and you shall be held accountable.
Then you acknowledge your intent to threaten this colony with an armed power?
Well, yes, you know,
The governor carries out His Majesty's decrees, and he will continue to do so whatever the cost.
The Williamsburg volunteers are awaiting a call to arms. They shall be roused if you persist in this mad course. I will raise a regiment of patriots to march to the relief of this town.
Have you no respect?
Time when such authorities used to enslave us!
I warn you, sir, that you fail to gauge the spirit of the Virginia people if you think, by force of arms, to convince us to your will.
And if you think, Thomas Jefferson, Patrick Henry, that you can frighten the governor with such childish threats, you yourselves are blind. You will leave his presence, or I will place you both under arrest.
You have dissolved the House of Burgesses, true. But we refuse to stay dissolved.
A number of us are meeting in convention on March 23rd at Richmond to discuss means and ways for our defense. I shall address the assembly. I forbid it!
We have given you, sir, our words of warning. Beware, lest you force us to follow them with action.
On to Richmond! To Richmond!
Friends, ignore this interruption. Our banquet awaits.
strong alone. It is for the vigilant, the active, and the brave. Besides, sirs, we have no election. Even if we are facing up to desiring, it is now too late in the contest to retire. There is no retreat, but in submission and in slavery. And our chains are forged. The clanking may be heard on the plains of Boston. The war is inevitable, and let it come. I repeat it, sirs. Let it come. It is in vain, sirs, to extenuate the matter. Gentlemen may cry, peace, peace. There is no peace. The war has actually begun. The next gale that sweeps from the north will bring to our ears the clash of resounding arms. Our brethren are in the field. And why? Why do we stand here idle? What is it the gentlemen wish? And what would you have? Is life so dear, or peace so sweet, as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Good Almighty God, I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death.
Patrick Henry's magic words are spreading swiftly through the colonies. They're repeated, chanted, and declaimed from New Hampshire to Georgia. Liberty or death! Liberty or death! We shall eat every man! Even now, when the drummer has fled from Williamsburg to worship in the York River, let us choose now whom we shall serve. This hour, the issue of independence is being argued and debated in the Raleigh Tavern there. Shall we be slaves or free men?
We have had our inconveniences. The Stamp Act, we protested. It was rescinded. The Navigation Act has been oppressive. Yes. The Boston Port Bill has been unwise. English soldiers have invaded our soil.
Yes, they have.
The blood of fighting men, both English and American, has been shed upon the battlefields of Concord and Bunker Hill. These evils have happened.
And they will not be forgotten!
But they are small indeed compared to those evils that will happen if you try to take this mad? Yes, this mad step of independence.
The king alone is not England. England is old and glorious, and it has existed long before parliaments and kings. It has suffered many tyrannous rulers and evil-minded servants, and it may suffer more. But her ideals of liberty, her Magna Carta, her Bill of Rights, these shall endure.
Friends, we must again lay our grievances before the king and parliament.
We must!
We have to!
Liberalism and just authority shall yet return to England, and when it does, your wrongs will then be righted and...
How will that be?
Too long!
They're your wrongs, too.
Yes, they are. I solemnly warn you, if you misguided leaders persist in this intent of independence, you will be destroyed. It is madness to think that 13-week colonies of 3 million people, nearly one-third of them Negro slaves, can stand up to the mighty power of England. Gentlemen, I denounce this impious and insane resolution, and I call upon you all to adjourn.
Let Jefferson speak!
The hour of decision has come. Gentlemen, for the first time in the history of the world, we have a privilege never given to civilized man before. The privilege of beginning anew, here, now, government of free men. This is a glorious challenge. It is an awful challenge. Nothing can be greater. Nothing can be more worth the while.
And the hangman's noose awaits.
Liberty or death!
Let it not be death, let it be liberty and life. So let us, in prayer and consecration of spirit, resolve now to take this step to break free from a cruel and blind and degenerate motherland. Lift our faces towards the light. A new people. And under God and under heaven, dedicate ourselves to establishing here on this earth a government of righteousness, of true liberty, and of justice among men. Vote! Not recorded.
Well, the resolution came to a vote and was overwhelmingly carried. Virginia declared that the colonies of right should be free from racism. But the great and loyal leader Robert Gordon and his followers took no part in the celebration at all. Nor did another well-known Williamsburger, a man of many words and little property, our old friend Cephas Bicklemore. A recent misdemeanor involving Miss Betsy Reynolds' chicken house has somewhat limited this man's freedom and independence.
Oh, God! Mr. Bellum, stop there! I'm innocent, I tell you! No! Be quiet! Okay, I stole the chicken, so what?
Wait, take your runners.
Liberty and independence! There is a monstrous piece of hypocrisy in the world, Mr. Bellum! All this talk of
Dan, my heart, where is it? There it is, Mr. Moore. Down in the pillory once more. A public shame and disgrace. When do you learn to mend your ways, Cephas? When?
Yeah, well, the flesh is weak. And I'm a poor sample of humanity.
Aye, ye are indeed.
Well, there's a new day coming for the common man, they say. And mayhap grace will save him.
Grace? Grace be honest. Oh, who was he? Oh, no. The bakery basket there. He's screaming.
Leave your brother alone. Get on.
Lady of my life. Oh, joy. The moon and the stars, they shine again.
Don't you, lady, join me, you old chicken thief.
Greetings, widows.
Greetings, Master Pelham.
Sight of my eyes. Here on the soft bosom of this sacred earth, I lift up my hands, and I swear for your sake, you're your sweet mercy giving, you're your healing presence. Oh, I repent. I repent. I'll lead an upright life. Forswear through the ticking forever. Oh, I'll marry ye.
You forswear life. You mad liar.
Oh, the sound of your voice. It's like music, like water to a perishing man.
You deceiver.
Oh, no.
You
no,
devil.
no.
All the fine got your worthless destroy on your soul.
Oh, wonderful. You listen to her?
Night and day. Ah, me, a poor widow woman. Working and weaving and cooking to feed my And you, 1,000 times you swore you'd take me to the altar and become a father unto them. And at my table I feed you. And what do? You go around stealing chicken and never bring me any.
Oh, Lord, my lovely.
Whisper in your tongue, Master Pelham.
Oh, noble woman. Soft feeling. But most virtuous. And fruitful, my darling.
Oh, Cephas.
Are you off to the market?
Just there to fetch my sweet orphan children to see the flags of flying up soldiers marching up and down.
And the pastries? You won't forget the pastries, my lamb. This time I take the oath.
There are not enough pastries in all Williamsburg to fill that bottomless belly of yours, Cephas Moore. But I won't forget.
My bird. Hearty fast.
Hunger doth ravage my ears to distraction. Mighty rumbling doth flip me from stem to stern.
Where?
Oh, I do. I'll marry you. A whistling woman and a crowing hen. Critters that'll come to no good end.
Oh, shit, is that?
There's one man who can keep colonies united.
News from North Israel.
And Virginia must supply me with men and arms through the limit. But gladly raise a company myself and outlaw. Good, Hugh Taylor. Good.
Long live your honor, sir. Amen. Blessings on you. Greetings, Mr. Lord Patrick Henry, sir.
Well, see if it's sick on.
Oh, that new uniform do become you. You look like something sprung out of the bandbox you be.
Your honor, you see this.
And with this great sword of yours, will you whack this here chain in two, which will bound me down, poor innocent son of liberty?
Law and order, Cephas, law and order.
Oh, please, sir. Please, Mr. Jefferson.
I'm sorry, Cephas, no. Pay your debt to the colonies.
Our committee has need of the Tories list this evening.
Aye, sir, already. And a number of our rich brothers in the jail. on that list.
Robert Gordon.
They shall be taken care of.
They shall.
Sir, your worship.
Squash, squash.
It's notorious like how you love the common man, Your Honor. And I'm a most common man. Howdy.
And the common man should learn to obey the law like the rest of us, Cephas.
Oh, Miss Taylor, the minuet. Oh, and the gallows. We cannot forget the gallows.
Cousin Jefferson.
And Cousin Robert, he keeps well.
He does.
Colonel Henry and I hope to pay our respects and to hear the latest news from Governor Dunmore.
Father sees few callers these days.
Indeed. We've heard differently. Hey, Colonel Henry.
Very differently.
And your birthday ball is tomorrow night.
It is.
Never before, Cousin Eileen, have you failed to invite me and my violin.
I'm against all who are against my father, Cousin Thomas.
That is a great error, my fair child. You know well that our party's balls and frivolities are forbade in these troublous times.
It is not for us to obey the orders of a traitorous Congress.
And that is another error, my fair child. This gentleman you know, Hugh Taylor. Once more we meet.
And if with that rifle, you are set to fight against your king,
I am.
then in mercy's name, go back to the hills, where you belong.
Oh, I love you. I love you.
Mistress Eileen!
Oh, sweet red apple high in a tree, and a cat may look at a king.
What's on your tongue, you old blabbermouth?
A perfect ball. Rather bold of your cousin Robert, a Tory gathering right under our noses.
Yes.
He thinks because of high estate, no one would dare touch him.
With some of my Liberty boys, I'd gladly pay him a visit.
Excellent. Lieutenant Taylor, I so order it.
Hypocrisy, Master Pelham. Talk. And the poor do suffer in vain.
The Committee of Safety orders all citizens to repair to the ballot screens to witness a show of arms and likewise whosoever shall enlist in the service of this colony shall be free from this confinement for any misdemeanors whatsoever.
Read, you say?
I breathe.
Harken to that, Mr. Pelham. I'm a free man.
Aye, and what for a soldier would you make, Cephas?
Soldier. Well, I couldn't even shoot a popgun.
And bounty money shall be paid on the signing.
Money, you hear that, Mr. Pelham? Put in your key, I'm a free man.
You'll never make a soldier, Cephas.
Sound body a little? Twang. Sound is Spanish gold. Unlock me, Mr. Pelham.
Well, I doubt he's not winded and bellows in the bargains, but in truth, moon-eyed. But such as he is, we will take it. With this quill, sign your name and take the oath. Repeat after me. I swear to receive all my God I will. I swear to receive all my God I will to the utmost of my power, so one contain defense the Union of Virginia, second George, third grade, this heir succession, their affairs, and parents, and sisters, and sons, and help me God.
I swear.
That meeting in Wallace Grove about 12 o'clock.
God.
a soldier out to the tavern.
A soldier? When King George hears of it, he'll lay down his arms. Enough! Get on with you now. Hush, hush, hush. Here, this ought to sell the mighty rumbling of your innards.
I don't receive it. This isn't sweet enough.
I need a daddy. Me too. Do you love him? I do
Tonight, I go away to serve my king. I have asked your father for your hand. The two great families of Colbert and Gordon will then be united.
Yes, yes, Francis. Our two great plantations likewise.
Please, please, Eileen, if you were a beggar maid, I would love you.
I believe you, Francis. No, no, that's not what I want. Let me show you.
And now, gentlemen, for some good news. A large force of ships and men has been dispatched from England. My old friend, General Cornwallis in charge. We will prepare for its coming. Till then, my friends, keep the peace.
Aye, aye, keep the peace. And when he gives the word, gentlemen, the loyal people of Virginia will rise in Robert Gordon's command.
We will. Bravo, Robert Gordon. For me, peace must be restored by hunting time.
And now, gentlemen, to His Majesty the King and England forever.
And England forever.
robes from my house, you tailor. In the name of the law, I command it.
My lady, again we meet. And please tell your father we're making a new law now. The law of free men. And as for his friends, they're likely to get their heads broken if they interfere.
And you'll find your Tory guard tied up in the bush outside.
It is a low and sneaking thing you do this night, you tailor.
Oh, what a sight! 'Tis my delight to see their blood, a crimson flood.
Have you no respect? No shame?
I warn you, Hugh Taylor, your leaders will be executed like common criminals. Washington, Adams, and Jefferson. And you, poor deluded followers, will die in felon's irons.
You have had our warning, you and your plotters. A war is coming, and a new day with it. And I'm going to help it come. And it will sweep over Robert Gordon and others like him. But you, my lovely lady,
What is it? Speak.
a man can do anything for you. I march into battle, die for you. A man that is a man. In the days ahead, you'll need me. I know you'll need me. And I'll come to you and help you.
Thomas Jefferson is placed in a committee consisting of the venerable Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, Roger Sherman, and Robert Livingston to draw up the Declaration. At the committee's urging, Jefferson himself undertakes the actual writing, and there, in a bricklayer's house in Philadelphia, he is working away night after night in his hot summer weather, putting down word after word in which we, the people, repeat the principles on which this, our young nation, is launching its resistance.
When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth a separate station,
Separate and equal states.
to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which have driven them,
Which impel them.
to the separation. We hold these truths as obvious.
To be self-evident.
And we'll speak in talking, talking, la 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 la. From life unto eternity, I'll be with a la 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 la. And he who dares to bring this help, we raise an idol with no help, but a hand and rope to hang himself. With a la 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 la. With a la 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 la.
Oh, Jefferson, it's your committee. Mr. Benjamin Franklin. Gentlemen, you make a wonderful trio. Quartet. We've got Sam Adams along with us, another partner in crime.
I'm honored.
Your wife, Mrs. Pat.
Yes.
Why, she's beautiful. No wonder you're so eager to return to Monticello. Now, what is love? I pray thee tell.
Yes, it's from an old song that
Patty and I used to play and sing together there at Monticello. Ah, Monticello.
And it speaks of love.
Love between a man and a woman. The hungry arms, the empty nights. Well, you know what that means.
Yes, somewhat.
Every sewing circle in New England knows Dr. Franklin is an expert on love.
Ah, yes. When I look into the face of my love-born son, I remember the night with that girl.
Gentlemen, we are not met here to speak of love and women.
More's the pity, Sam Adams. This creating a country is no better for us, gentlemen. It's a dog's life for all of us. We're always riding and working, never being able to be at home, separated from our loved ones.
Future generations will remember us.
That's right. I'm not interested in future generations. I'm interested in this one.
It is a privilege to die for our liberty.
What liberty is there 6 feet under the earth? Go ahead and die, Sam Adams. I want to live. I'm 70 years old, and I want to live. We're all outlawed now, Jefferson. You've heard the news?
No.
Well, the king has issued abroad his list of criminals. You and I in Washington are at top. We're to be hanged first.
I'm to be hanged too, it says so.
We all may be in time, gentlemen. Sherman, you too.
Aye.
Come to join the committee. Seals your fate.
For my part, I ask no greater blessing than to share with you the common danger and the common glory.
And now where are we?
I'm not satisfied with the preamble.
That sounds fine to me.
Aye. We hold these truths to be self-evident. For all men are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and property.
Perfect.
Well, let's change that somewhat. We hold these truths to be self-evident. That all men are created equal. That they are endowed...
Yes, equality. Your Virginia aristocrats will jump on that.
The other was weak, John Adams.
It's good. It's very good.
Not all men are created equal.
But I have a number of workmen up in Connecticut. They are all different. One has so much money, another so much. One is energetic, one is lazy. How can they all be?
I mean equal in humanity, equal in personal worth, and rights and justice before the law, fair play and opportunities for their talents, their natural rights as men.
It means equal in the soul.
Well, you know how to hit the nail right on the head, don't you, Sam Adams? But it's saying you'll be debated and beaten to a frazzle in Congress anyway.
Life, liberty, and property. I don't like that word property.
Saints mercy, man. That's the heart of our subject.
When our men go marching into battle to pour out their life's blood, they won't do it for property. Ask those that are fighting at this hour. Speak for something else. Something they cherish beyond shillings and pence. Beyond land and chattel. So here when I write life, liberty, and property, well, property proves less ideal than the other two.
We've already argued this through with George Mason and the Virginia Declaration of Rights.
Yes.
He declared for property, and you agreed.
And Mason spoke also of other things, of natural rights, of happiness, of safety.
Vague, vague. Certainly, everyone wishes to be happy and to be safe. There's no better guarantee than property for that.
I say keep the property. We need a practical touch.
Hear, hear.
See, Jefferson, we outvote you. Property it is.
Then, I insist on including the section about stopping the slave trade.
Oh, that is an inflammable matter. Let's forego it.
Aye. It's good, John. It's very good.
You'll never get anywhere on the subject of slavery. Leave it out entirely.
Right. New England made money out of the slave trade. Your Virginia and the South raised our tobacco crop using slave labor. Yes, leave it out.
But it must be dealt with sometime. And what better time than here and now? Is this to be a declaration of fair and equitable principles for our new nation, or is it not?
Jefferson is right. It's good.
Oh, it's good. It's good. But it's not expedient. And they go on to say that after a certain day, not too long off, the emancipation of the slave shall begin. To free the slave. Good Lord, man, that's impossible. Slaves are human beings too, are they not? And I warn you, if slavery be not settled by the use of reason, it yet shall be by the spilling of blood.
Daggers and blades, young man. You are a fiery radical. Professor George Witt told me so when you were his student at the College of William and Mary.
Yes, Professor Witt taught me much, and I am thankful to him.
Well, I too was young once, and wished to save the world in a day. But still, I admire you. Even when you fail.
Fail?
Yes. Come, gentlemen. Let him put in what he wishes about stopping the slave trade. Congress will vote it out anything.
Jefferson is right. We'll fight Congress like we fight the king for the right, for the truth.
Oh, Jefferson, you may have heard. It was decided. I'm to sail to France at the earliest possible date.
Thank God. Any man can put through an alliance with that country, it's you, Mr. Franklin.
I'll do my best, but I'll need your prayer.
Oh, and you shall have them, sir.
Well, good night.
Good night.
And we'll stay in King George's Island, la 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 la, from Iceland to his enemy, la 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 la, and he who has retreated up to me.
Prudence indeed will dictate that nations long established
The government's
should
long
not be
established.
changed for light and transient reasons.
Like in transient causes.
Accordingly,
Jefferson? Mr. Jefferson? Mr. Jefferson!
You?
I came for the letters.
Letters. Oh, letters, yes, letters.
Our ammunition wagons are loaded at last. We'll be heading back to Virginia by dawn.
Ammunition, good. We'll need it, plenty of it. Cherish these with your life, you. As soon as you get to Williamsburg, see that they are hurried to my wife at Monticello.
I will, sir.
The last I heard from her was 5 weeks ago. is very frail.
You've been cooped up here in the summer heat for days. Writing. You really ought to rest, Mr. Jefferson.
Rest? How can I rest? This document's due in Congress on Monday and it's not even finished yet. God, I don't know, Hugh. I can't seem to get it right.
What you read to me last night sounded right.
Oh, it sounds dead and dull. The committee's just been here. If men like Benjamin Franklin and John Adams can't see the truth, then how can I expect... Sam Adams saw it. Yeah, but then he's a fanatic and has little influence in Congress.
That part about equality is the truth. I know.
They say that property is the basis of our dream, and I feel that Congress will agree.
Property? Well, it's important enough, all right. When you haven't got it, my father knew that.
The principle we're after is so much bigger.
Hard work and poverty killed him. His life an empty pursuit of happiness he never found.
Pursuit of happiness. An apt phrase, Hugh, spoken from the heart.
That's why I say, let the war come, and I'll fight in it.
It's for you, Hugh Taylor, and men like you, that I write this declaration. For you and them, that I shall defend it before Congress.
It will be for Americans everywhere to measure up to it, Mr. Jefferson.
Aye. Now and in time to come, I pray. Oh, convey my regards to the lovely Eileen if you see her. How is she?
Well, as I hear,
Not married yet.
not yet.
Then the war is still for love, as well as happiness, eh, Hugh?
Good night, sir.
Good night, Hugh. Oh, God bless you, and I'll see you soon at Williamsburg.
Good night, sir.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Hey, Congress votes for independence!
Yes, this declaration passes unanimously.
Hooray for Patrick Henry! Hooray for Governor Henry!
Hey, the fellow's been hiding away from the army.
Twist not your tongue, Master Pelham!
Patrick Henry, as governor of all Virginia, calls upon all people to gather on the palace greens. Ye shall hear him reading the new declaration that sets us free from England forever.
We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, duly named by the authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are and ought to be free and independent states. They are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connections between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved. And with the words of the Declaration of Independence, with the firm reliance on the protection of the divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. And so, my friends, we are gathered here today to honor the words of the Declaration of Independence, and to honor the man who wrote these words, Thomas Jefferson!
Our great Virginian, Patrick Henry, has glowingly pictured to you the purpose of this war. I have returned here to help with all my strength in fighting that war. And in truth, what are we fighting for? What does this flag stand for? We are fighting for a free earth. An earth that belongs to you. And to your sons, and to their sons. Not the few and the powerful. For the right to pass our own laws, as becomes honest men. For the right to speak freely and unafraid the thoughts that are in us. For the freedom of the written word, we may publish forth these thoughts unafraid. Fighting for the right to our own religion, that there shall be no persecution of a man because of his belief in his own God or his own method of worship. The right to education of all the people. All the people, with the high and the low, that they may drink from the fountain of knowledge freely. We are fighting, my friends, for self-government.
Self-government? What is that?
Yes, self-government. And that means facing hardships and sufferings unafraid. A willingness to endure them. Taking the blows and the buffetings for the cause in which we believe. And I repeat a solemn warning. A heavy and bloody struggle still lies ahead. War and more war. Today we are calling for men. Today we are calling for women, for consecration of character, for stamina, that the principles in which we believe may live. This is not to be a government of a few people, but of all the people. These are the things which we must fight for, and must be willing to suffer for. And the struggle to make these principles prevail shall be the common glory of us all.
And so, we say,
There was a man in our town, I'll tell you his name.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is the common glory of us all.
The Old Dominion, in confidence and hope, went forth to war. And while his associates strove to beat back the enemy on the battlefield, Jefferson flung himself wholeheartedly into waging just as hard a war here in Williamsburg to get established in the laws of the Commonwealth the principles for which the war was being fought. Finally, after almost 2 years of arduous labor, his task was finished. And now an even heavier task fell upon Jefferson. Virginia called on him to become her military head and second governor, succeeding Patrick Henry. Unflinchingly, and with great personal sacrifice, he assumed the responsibility. And everywhere, throughout the Commonwealth, the people answered his call. In the field among farmers, the spirit and devotion is the same. The rhythm and the labor, the reaping and the sowing and the reaping.
From the eastern shore to the western mountains, the people answered the call. As camps and barracks and tent cities sprang up, as men, boys, and women too, gathered to learn the arts of war. They thought all be over with by Christmas, but little did they know that upon their flesh and bones, the war would write its bloody history.
people under the relentless, devouring war. And here's your Christmas present. Go on, open it.
There
them with my own two hands, and with every stitch a kiss.
A man walking in kisses. I've never heard of that before. Seems like you rest 1,000 years here.
And could I give you rest?
You do. When I'm away, you do, and when I'm here.
And you are away so much, my dear.
Oh, but all this absence and heartache and hunger for you make me know how much I love you.
Oh, now that is just sweet. That is just as sweet as it can be. And it is the first time in many a day, Tom Jefferson, that you have actually even been here long enough to tell your wife that you love her. Look at her. She is thin as a whippoorwill. And I was giving praises to God on high that for one night, politics and war would be forgotten. However, they are not. A committee of your Burgesses is here.
Oh, my.
Come on, let's get you to bed.
Oh, can't they ever let you alone?
It's very important. We insist.
Oh, it's important. Of course it's important. Everything is important, including my brother's dying wife.
Merry Christmas, Governor Jefferson. Merry Christmas, gentlemen.
Your Excellency, we will come to the point. We're a committee sent to wait upon you.
Yes?
These Virginia soldiers you have assembled here in the Capitol. We are to inquire if they are for home service.
No, they are not.
We're well sensed. We demand they be kept here in Virginia.
I have said it before, gentlemen, and I repeat it. When General Washington calls for men in arms, I shall send them as long as there is one man and one musket in Virginia able to be sent.
And again, we protest this practice.
Aye, we do most strong.
Are we to trust our commander-in-chief, or are we not?
I have said it before, and I say it again. Horatio Gates ought to be commander-in-chief. He conquered Burgoyne and Saratoga 2 years ago, and that's the only victory that we've had.
The only one.
When I took the office of governor, gentlemen, I made it clear to all the members of our legislature and to our people. I consider this to be a cause of all the colonies, not of one. And so does General Washington consider it.
Washington, tell me, when is he to win a victory?
As long as he is able to keep his armies in the field, that is a victory. He has shown himself to be a great and capable leader. Well, you have known him personally, so have I. Look, this letter is from General Washington. We must have another levy of at least 1,000 militia at once. Must, you hear him? And we are sending him a pitiful half-armed 300. I'm not a military
That's
authority.
right. You're not.
Nor are you. But it is good reason that as long as we can keep our armies in the field, one in the north and one in the south, undefeated, then our cause is not entirely lost.
And that is your final word?
It is.
And then invasion comes.
Then it must come.
And you know that if Virginia is conquered, then the country is split in two, from mountain to sea, and our cause is lost forever.
Our beloved Commonwealth is already left like an empty bag, gentlemen. Empty, you hear me?
I have heard that you can catch things in an empty bag. General Washington says, mayhap the two armies that we have struggled for so long to keep alive can turn upon him. One from the north, one from the south. He goes on to say that if by God's good grace the French fleet could arrive on the east coast at that time, then...
Are you weak in your wits also, sir? Never before have I heard the way to conquer your enemy is to let him conquer you.
And where is this French fleet? Has anyone seen it?
Oh, yes. France will sign a treaty on paper, but it is still on paper.
You forget that brave Lafayette is now fighting with us.
A stripling young boy out for adventure.
That is a shameful insult to a brave ally.
Come, gentlemen, we must make our recommendation to the House.
We demand that you rescind your decision to send the last of our militia to General Washington.
The decision must stand.
Then we may adopt certain measures.
We demand your resignation as governor.
You shall not have it if you do.
Then you may find yourself an object of impeachment, sir.
Impeachment? Less than a year ago, you same gentleman came to me at Monticello, pleading with me, begging me to become your governor and your leader, and now
Come, gentlemen.
You shall not have my resignation. Do you hear me? You shall not have it. Patty, you need your rest.
I those men said to you. Oh, my darling, they are killing you.
No, they are not. Sister!
Oh, I thought that. Hurry, Jefferson, for goodness sake. Oh, that's right. Resign. That is exactly what you ought to do. Can't you see they are all against you anyway?
They can't be the sound from. They can't. Well, stand, Taylor. Stand on until we ready. Oh, Tom. Oh, stand together.
Lord have mercy on my soul. Is it a dream, Captain Taylor? And you and me are walking the streets of New Jerusalem? Or is this home in Virginia?
Home in Virginia, Cephas.
Lord, and I never expected it. There at Valley Forge, with all them shells busting about me, I thought I'd give up my final hope forevermore.
There was nothing but snow and ice at Valley Forge, Cephas.
Oh. Well, then it must have been the trees popping out loud like cannon under the weight of calamity and sleep. Oh, Sunshine. I wonder, in my life, my honey love still proved faithful to me. Ah, little hunted, I kiss your sweet head. This time, Captain Taylor, I'm marrying you. Made manifest down and sanctified to the ground.
Bide ye here whilst I speak to the governor.
Get on the governor! Woman, they both ride, hold bones together at once so I can pay my deepest respects. You, my lad! Long live your honors, sir.
I scarcely knew you, Cephas. Ah, changed.
But a walking skeleton now, Your Honor. My Lord hath preached the highways of this continent.
Well, you have suffered, Cephas.
Aye. But long live liberty, still say I. And as the good book says, Saul slew his thousands, David his tens of thousands, and I... But I'll say no more.
You're a brave man, Cephas, and Virginia will remember you.
If she would only honor me with a little teensy piece of gold.
There's hardly a piece of gold left in all of this Commonwealth.
Away now, Cephas. I'll join you.
Aye, aye, sir. Sit down, you. And General Washington, when did you last see him?
3 weeks ago.
And his health?
He still stays on his feet.
Aye, and he will to the last. Ah, what good fortune it is, Hugh, that this nation of ours gets its beginnings from men like him. Men like Benjamin Franklin in Philadelphia, and John Adams up in Boston. Why, people need examples, images to go by. And these men, the images of these men shall stand great and good and firm for generations to come, for the generations to rally around. And how are you?
I'm invalided home for guard duty till I recover.
You'd best report to General Thomas Nelson.
I have. I'm stationed at the garrison at Jamestown with my men.
Good. We're trying to rebuild the old fort there. We'll need your help. The men are low in spirits.
Mr. Silene, how is she?
Well, as I hear.
Thank God.
She is at the plantation with her father. I regret that fact. I'm having to take desperate measures, Hugh. There's an evil force at work in Virginia of recent months. Undercover, underground. spreading rumors of defeat, causing dissension among the people, among the troops even. One man has brought this about. Robert Gordon. His power must be destroyed. I have arranged for a picked number of men to surround this house tonight and take him prisoner.
Eileen may be in danger.
It must be done.
Then please, allow me to go with the party. She might need me. I might protect her.
I once said there'd come a time when she needed me. But now these two hands are weak things to offer her. May I go?
As you will. But I want Robert Gordon captured and brought here, alive or dead. To inform you that we can supply only 300 Virginia volunteers.
Robert Gordon, you are under arrest. Governor Jefferson's orders. Jefferson, till you die, for me. Take him away. String him up in a gallows rest. Good.
Father!
Yeah.
Father! Oh, you! And now?
Eileen, I've come to help.
Help! And my father set upon the dead of night by you! Father!
This war is so much better off without these women and their salt tears pouring.
In the old days, Secret Sycamore, they stuck a red-hot wire to the tongues of people that talk too much. Yeah.
Cousin Robert. We will compromise. Give me your pledge to remain neutral, and you may go free.
That is a pledge I cannot give.
Not even that. You are an obstinate man, Cousin Robert.
So are we both. A Randolph inheritance, perchance.
Obstinate and blind.
This farmer leading highwaymen and cutthroats against me. The cause is lost, Thomas Jefferson, and you know it.
Once more, will you pledge your word?
Now the woe you traitors have wrought. This civil war. Family blind against family. Brother against brother. And father against father. But the right will prevail!
Aye, our right, and we'll make it prevail.
There is only one right. That these colonies should remain one united kingdom. It is mad and eternally wrong to break them apart.
So would they have remained united, had England not followed her tyrant king.
Yes, England is broke. So is man.
everywhere weakened and broke. But the hour of victory draws nigh, and she will be whole again.
Robert Gordon, this day the Commonwealth of Virginia confiscates your property.
You confiscate the ruins left by a fire. You burn my house and all that is in it.
What? The books? The priceless paintings?
The problem with you, Jefferson, is that you don't believe in God and His Majesty the King. I do, and I do what is given unto me, even unto death.
Let's see if this God you believe in, this pitiful, paunchy being that wears a crown and defiles the throne of England, can save you now. Sergeant Jack, take this Tory away. Confine him in irons till he be tried, and if found guilty, hanged by the...
I warn you, Jefferson, make no mistake. Harm comes to me or my daughter, your life shall answer for it.
Eileen shall receive the protection of my family.
Oh, no, please, Cousin Thomas, please. You see, I'm not proud. I beg for my mother.
Eileen! Would my own daughter so demean herself as to beg my safety of this traitor?
We will take him away.
Shame. We'll kill him at will.
There's nothing you can do now. Later you can see him.
What have you done to him? My father!
It had to be this way. And so it will keep on being till we win.
Oh, you win. My father will never yield. Never!
Nor will we. Come, I'll take you to Mistress Jefferson.
No. I'm glad. Glad he will not. His pride and honor are his life. And I hate all who fight against him. All who make him suffer.
This is not you hate me too. Pride and honor, all right. So do I have my pride and honor as a man too. That's why I fight this war, and thousands of other poor devils like me. So then we can be men. Free men. Your father is my enemy. And I will stand against him to the end for what I believe. Just as he stands against me. But you are not my enemy. You are everything but that.
Then you will help me, Hugh. Oh, you must help me. We can go to George Washington and plead Father's case if he would listen, he would understand.
You asked me to betray my cause? Then you would hate me indeed.
No, Hugh, no.
Look at me straight. Tell me. If I did this for you, if I went to General Washington and pleaded for your father's life, that I might hope for your love. See? You can't deny it. I'd be a weakling and deserve the scorn you give a weakling.
You are stubborn, Hugh.
Like your father, then?
Yes?
For that, I thank you.
True, Robert Gordon, your arrest and unjust imprisonment here in this jail have halted our loyalist efforts for the moment, but it is only temporary. We have but to wait, be patient, a few more days and weeks. Be patient.
Already Lord Cornwallis has started his march up from Carolina, and our people on every side will rise to join him.
It is written, woe to the man whose life turns to ashes in his mouth. So mine has turned. Leave me alone. Even my own daughter has gone to the enemy. She is in love with that common workman and traitor, you, Taylor.
I tell you, the rebel cause is failing. We will win. Mutiny is breaking out here, yonder, everywhere. The people have had their fill of this patriot cause. At this moment, Thomas Jefferson hurried to Jamestown to try to keep the ragged, starving soldiers in line there. Hark to us. Hark.
Farewell.
Farewell.
And now you order us back to duty? Well, sir, we will not do so. Our duty now is to ourselves, to our loved ones who need us. Come on, man, let's go! When you are going to leave, I think you're dead first. Do not run, men! What should happen here? This cowardice! This betrayal of our cause! Here is this sacred spot. Me and my men have not found it sacred. Here was the birthplace of our nation, you Taylor. Here our democracy began. With its first assembly in this very church. Here where we stand tonight, nearly 200 years ago. It all began here at Jamestown. And here at Jamestown it ends. No. The nation that was to be and yet shall be. Our cause is lost, Mr. Jefferson. No, it is not. I followed you into this war believing in you the way those men and thousands of others did. Believing in freedom and self-government. As you and Sam Adams put it in your speeches. That was to be the common glory of us all. True, this war is common enough, sir, but there's no glory in it. God forgive you, you Taylor. If you are right, why don't the people see it? Throughout the land, worse than before, men buying and swapping and trading in the lifeblood of us poor fools who went to die on the battlefield. And Congress, railing in the base, unable to act. So hour by hour, day by day, our causes perish, and we with it. But we must keep fighting. Here in this hallowed spot, it's a greater struggle even, down to starvation. Yet the starving ones would not yield. Are we less men than those pioneers who suffered here? Are we? Lying here one night, I dreamed a dream about this hallowed spot. A voice spoke to me from the tower above, saying a curse was upon this place of evil. Curse? Evil? Here were the helpless innocent Indians murdered and robbed of their land. And here were the first black Africans dragged to labor in the tobacco fields, whimpering under the slaver's whip. Here slavery began. And so, your pioneers... Aye, there were evil things, but beyond the cruelty and the sin, beyond the killing and the enslavement of the innocent, There was a light, an idea. It started here. And down the years it grew. And now it is a torch which we carry in our hands. Shall we let it fall from our grasp?
Aye, but we have no help. Our strength is gone. Where are our men? Even the loyal Cephas has deserted us. I will rest on my bed now. Here's where I sleep. What little time I do sleep.
The cause is right. It must live. Men must make it live. Through death and destruction, it must live. That's it, you. Out of death and destruction to make life. Oh, it's easy to make a good thing out of a good thing. But good out of evil. That's the challenge. My lips, I say these words. Where is their meaning? We have no help. Our strength is gone. Our men depart.
My father. Oh, my father. You murdered Cousin Jefferson. You murdered my father. Murder. Murder. Murder!
Mercy! Have mercy!
Give up. Give up this senseless struggle. The king will forgive. He will forgive. And all will be well.
No! No!
You know, mad dream are killing her. Or killing her right, Tom Jefferson. Killing her. Killing her.
I'm guiltless! Guiltless! Go ahead. Destroy me. Destroy all I love, but I cannot. You, I will not. Oh, Lord. Out of the depths of my soul, I cry unto thee. Is there no one in this place of our nation's begetting to strengthen thy servant in his weakness? Even as Abraham said of old, perchance there be one witness. Answer me! Answer me. Cephas! You did not desert us!
Me? Dessert? Not I.
True. A crumb of comfort to me. A witness to my renewed faith. A symbol. Stand on guard here, Cephas. You're a brave man, and Virginia will not forget you. I'll send a carriage for Captain Taylor. And we'll get more men!
There. Cephas, my lad. Thomas Jefferson himself says you're a brave man. Stand on guard, he says. As the good book says, the first shall be the last, the last the first. And from standing tied in the stocks at Williamsburg, I am rings high in this world. Witness, a symbol, a crumb of comfort too.
Mr. Taylor! Mr. Taylor? Mr. Taylor! Mr. Taylor, when you wake up, I've got a surprise for you. I stepped over to the Amber House, and I got us a ticket. In peacetime, they bind you in the stocks for stealing. But in war, they call you a brave man. I took my gun and went to war. I never known yet what I'm fighting for. They say it's freedom and a happy world, a poor man's freedom and a brand new world. But I have that before. My love, she wrung her little hands and cried. Her hair hung down like a widowed bride. She locked her heart with the... Oh, gee! Oh, what a fearful and ungodly place this is. Oh, Peter Pelham, I come within a hair of murdering you.
Master Pelham!
Dr. Taylor, I come fast. Where's Mr. Jefferson? He just went down the road. Great news, sir. From the north, General Washington is on his way with his whole army.
Aye, to stick it against Cornwallis, no doubt.
Aye, and the French fleet under Admiral de Grasse sailing to Virginia to help him.
Part of the Sycamore.
Yes, sir.
Hurry fast along the road and overtake Sergeant Jack and the men. Tell them it is not I, nor Mr. Jefferson who orders them back to guard this fort, but General Washington. General Washington, man! Hurry, man, hurry!
Oh, I forgot my chicken.
Get under these!
Be it known that General George Washington is on his way to Williamsburg.
young woman, what is it you want?
I want my Cephas, that's what I want. I hear that a mighty skirmish and bleed, and his tightness not to feel victorious. He's been sorely wounded.
You can't get by without your password.
And Matthew Taylor's only 2 days back, and it has 3 eyes and 4 to tend to. My poor Cephas may be perishing without my loving hands to bind us to food. Cephas!
The farmhouse said, John, your hero may be laying in a bed of straw there. You can't get by without the password.
I don't know no password except that it be love. I love blooming in my heart. It ought to be enough to let old scratch the pearly gates on high. Out of my way, boy, or I'll brand you with my hard-working fist.
Love's a good enough password for me. Go ahead now, go on. It's like being in a dream. You're here.
Dream.
You saved my life, such as it is, with your nursing.
When the war ends, oh, it will end to you.
Soon it will. You must rest, please, on your feet day and night.
Well, there's news for you right between the eyes. This English ship's been signing off the
What? The Cornwalls may escape us yet! They say. But it's just another rumor.
Right. 7 long years we can't be converted. 7 long years.
We can and we will! Mr. Jefferson and General Washington will. General Washington needs me.
Oh, Hugh. Here, sit. You're burning with fever. We'll get some water from the spring.
I'll fetch it for you, Miss.
No! Let me.
Oh, she doesn't work. It's driving her on like it's killing her.
It's his grief. Did you hear the word? Her father's dead. He hanged himself. She can't forget him. If only I could help her.
Oh, jabber.
How are you this morning, Cephas?
No how.
I dropped his wound a while ago. Some wound is more like a scratch, especially by the way he yowled.
I'll have you know many a man has died with less. Scratch. Oh, but I take that red coat back. The minute he cut me so, I whirled, sped a charge in Virginia backwards, slamming his eye. But I had him blinded. My musty butt gave him a quiet left him cold in death.
I heard he got up and ran away.
Backbiting evil tongues forevermore. Who cares for the sorrows of poor Cephas Sycamore? Nobody. Not a single solitary soul. Do they honor me for bravery? Nope. Do they attend me in my condition? No. Down with women, say I.
So, Cephas, you're sworn to love? This time I'm a marrying man, made manifest and sanctified, down to the ground.
My soul pukes and purges fire at the name of women. I can spit vinegar at the name of women. Here I've been, laid up for my country's cause, and not a word, not a whisper, not a pastry have I had.
I see the little huzzards.
Widow. Don't mention that critter's name within the sound of my hearing. My 2 ears shut up like clams before it. For all that hussy cares. Might as well be out there with them other cold boys in the cold, rotten trenches of death. But, praise be to Almighty God, them surgeons and doctors fixed me up real good. They bled me till I'm dry as a shuck. I have to fry myself to spit.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no. Ah, the moon and the stars, they shine again.
As soon as I heard you were wounded, I hurried right here. My hero.
Wonderful, wonderful. Will you listen to her? My honey dove, my mockingbird, my lark.
Poor lad, is your leg broke?
Oh, yeah.
Did they wound you in your sweet, pitiful little leg?
It hurts, it hurts.
Show me, Stevie, show me.
Oh, it's the pastries, the pastries. Ah! Oh, oh, my leg! Ow!
Uh-huh. And how did that happen?
Oh, mockingbird, honey dove.
And me. All night. Weeping and hurrying the long road from Williamsburg. Past soldiers in their passwords. And calling out to all the trees and fences as I passed. Cephas, my love. My hero. And how did you get yourself wounded there?
Well, I thought it was in front. They came at me and asked.
Oh, Cephas, you're still a coward.
I vouch for him. He's a brave and loyal man. I so declare it.
My Cephas. Come, sweet Cephas, brave Cephas.
A preacher! She's got a preacher!
I got a wagon load of straw waiting to take you back to Williamsburg. And a feather bed there calling to you. And I'll smooth your forehead. Deep as my lamb, I'll rub you and change you. But first the preacher must marry. Honey, I'm determined.
Soft feather bed. Soft feeling woman.
That's right.
Eighth Street.
Cephas, you're a hero now, Cephas. Now, rise up and be a man.
Rise up.
Marry the woman.
Be that an order?
As your commanding officer, it is.
Kiss the bride, Stevens, kiss her.
Something's happening. They're running around like mad out there.
To arms! To arms! See you, man! Hey, General Washington's gone for every man! To arms!
Thank God for that.
I'll rather take demolition.
You. Now we will win the war.
Wait, Major Taylor, wait for me!
There's no way! I lost him again.
Hey, yourself.
I'm a recruit. Going to Hamilton's man? Have you any food?
Nothing but Klein Ramsey's possum hogs for a week. You'll learn soon. Sorry.
So how's it going? This war, I mean.
Blood and gall and ashes, man. For 7 years, the same. Oh yeah, we fight. But if we win, Cornwallis doesn't know it. Neither do we.
They say about out of Yorktown will begin here soon.
Aye. Cornwallis is bottled up by the French fleet like they say.
Listen, I hear a lot of movement over there. Sounds like feet marching.
The British are moving their troops upon the redoubt. The battle may come tonight.
God's been on our side, Johnny.
Aye. Amen, and may we both live. Let's get back to our holes now.
freely to the welfare of one another. Am I my brother's keeper? I am. And so is he mine. And as we give, so shall we receive. Only thus can our democracy live and grow strong. I believe in the depths of my soul that we have envisioned in this new land of ours an ideal that is shared throughout the world and bring immeasurable benefit to all of mankind.
that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This